One of the panelists was saying, I think it was Swedish, by 2045 to reach carbon neutral. I'm coming from the shipping industry, so I'm representing the World Ocean Council. And in the ocean industry, we know carbon neutral is not enough. We need to reach carbon negative, really, for us to really be sustainable. And the Arctic is something so far away from everyone's daily life. On the political level, we know it's really important, but even to the business level, it's very much commercial oriented. It's really difficult to really integrate it into the business world and into the civilian, the day-to-day level. There's a huge gap. It's a very wide question, just how we can really ensure we are making this happen, not sinking our Earth. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I took that more as a comment, and I could not but agree with you that it's obviously of key importance that we make every effort we can to go carbon neutral as quickly as possible. My government has set a goal, and we'll try to pursue that vigorously.
While we're waiting, maybe I have one question to the panelists. One of the reasons why the Arctic was for a long time a low conflict and zone of peace and harmony, but partly because people were not really aware of the challenges and were not really aware of and not that interested in. Now with a greater deal of interest and a greater focus and intensity of and more great powers that are concentrating on the Arctic, that can also lead to tensions. And we have heard the recent meeting in Rovaniemi was well attended. It was a full house of ministerial participation, which has not always been the case in the past. But also I heard sort of echoes of the fact that it was not all peace and light. So do you see, for the future of the Arctic, the theme of today's session was, of course, regional cooperation. What can regional cooperation contribute now to make sure that this continues on the peaceful path and not on the on a path of confrontation and conflict?
Yes. Well, thank you for that question. I think I alluded to the part of your question in my presentation, and that is that we don't really agree with the fact or the view put forward that this is a high tension area. In previous presentations, I've had the headline "High North, Low Tension." It's a kind of a catchy phrase, but I do think that it encapsulates what is the current state of affairs. It is true that there is increased tension. This is partly due to the possibility of new trading routes. It's partly due to the fact that, like many or all of us have touched upon, the ice is melting. It may create new opportunities, but like I underlined in my statement, there aren't really very many, if any, undisputed areas at all, and all the Arctic states, all the 8 states, have a long-standing record of cooperating. Let's not forget that among the 8 Arctic states, the United States and Russia are 2 of those 8 states. Of course, everybody here knows that there is, how should we say, a difference of opinion between those 2 countries in global issues. But history shows, the fact shows that also these 2 countries, together with the other 6, have managed to work together and resolve common challenges within international law and national interests. So I don't disagree with the fact that it's rapidly, coming to the forefront of the international agenda, and I don't agree that it's an area of rising tension. Thank you.
We are very much in agreement with Norway on this issue, my country, Sweden. Obviously, it was disappointing that we were not able to agree on a joint declaration at the Rovaniemi ministerial meeting. But all, as you said, all 8 ministers were there. We expressed that the Arctic Council remains the main body for circumpolar collaboration. We also managed to agree on the reports and the work programs of the working groups of the Arctic Council, where a lot of the substantial work of the Council is being made and has been over the years and will in the future. So there is a good direction of the work that will be taken forward by the Icelandic chairmanship now, and this is something we all 8 ministers agreed to at the Council meeting in Rovaniemi. So that bodes well for the future in that respect, at least. But of course, we have to recognize that there are some different assessments of what's going on in the Arctic area that we have to accept at the current stage. Unfortunately, but that is the case.
Thank you, Chair. The accelerated global warming in the Arctic area provide both the big challenge and opportunity for Arctic and non-Arctic countries. I think the business opportunity should be pursued on the basis on so strict and comprehensive scientific research. That's why Korea is focused on scientific research. Additionally, the Korea, China, Japan, running their tripartite high-level dialogue meeting, and we focus on scientific research first. So the Korea host meeting first time this year, though we may focus on the scientific cooperation among 3 countries. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I think I will refer as well to the initiative I mentioned in my speech, which was the Warsaw Format Initiative. And interesting, whilst noting the Rovaniemi ministerial and how it went on, we somehow, as the observer states and the EU, immediately in the margins of this important event, and how perhaps sometimes went not as was planned, but we were able to meet the 13 of us and the EU, and both to digest and somehow internally consolidate in a direction that, well, we as the observer states are not going to follow the line of whatever tension that may happen, but we are strongly committed both to the already past Finnish chairmanship and forthcoming Icelandic chairmanship. That what I also liked, highlighting the innovative way of involving more the observers in this respect. As we said, disregard what happened and potentially whatever further, hopefully not sensitive issues might arise on the agenda. We are strongly committed within this small club to pursue this path, because as I said, and all the colleagues just said before, there is no other option, I guess. Thank you.